crafty friend, and thank you so much for tuning in to today's little magical journal flip through video. I have broken my pattern of sticking to kind of blue and purple cool color schemes for my journals, and I've actually challenged myself to do something for Valentine's Day this year. So I hope you like this little book of love as much as I do. The cover includes just a little bit of blue, a nod to my favorite color. The spine is really special. This whole book is made from an actual vintage, possibly antique book that was written in another language. Where it's been crumbling, I followed the advice of a lovely viewer. I'm sorry, I should have written down who gave this suggestion, but I'll definitely give you a shout out at the end. I'll look it up first. But she suggested that I fill in the cracks with gold, like Japanese kitsungi, where you take gold to repair a broken item to make it even more valuable. I love that idea, especially because it goes so beautifully with our little love cherubs and the little golden hearts embossed into it. So yeah, the back cover has a pocket. You could leave it empty. I think it's pretty just as it is too, but I couldn't resist filling every pocket. And this one has a really special piece of ephemera in it. Is this not just absolutely spectacular? Look at the little Cupid holding his bow, and instead of an arrow, he has like a lily flower in his hand, ready to shoot somebody with love. This old cellophane tape, I did not yellow that myself. It came this way. And on the back, there's a cute little love poem. I love thee truly, seasons may roll, but the true soul burns the same where'er it goes. Very cute. So my dear Auntie Mary Lynn found this for me at an antique store in my hometown. And yeah, I just love it. It's puffy, like it's not flat, it's puffy. Because at one point in time, in the Victorian era, it was actually filled with something fragrant. So maybe like a scented powder or maybe flower petals, we're not really sure. It has definitely lost its smell, which makes sense. It's been, what, like 120 years? But anyway, that's the back. You can see that she's a chunky one. There's a definite gator mouth here. But I don't mind a gator mouth. I love it when a journal is chock full of goodies. I've decorated the sari tie closure with a beautiful little brooch that I found thrifting. What does that say? The Variety Club. So that must have been a store at some point. A little love dove. So yeah, the closure is sewn in. See how she just wants to like fall right open the moment I untie that. But yeah, I think I have stuffed this one absolutely full of goodness. Starting with the inside cover, where I decorated a belly band made of gold ribbon, with all kinds of beautiful heart jewelry pieces. Let me do a close-up of that. And my favorite among them is this heart bow right here. If you watched my last crafty video, you'll know that this holds a sweet little surprise. I filled it with paper sweethearts that are part of my Valentine's romance printable kit. I just printed them a little bit smaller so that they would fit into this little heart locket, and I think that is just super cute. When I put a locket in a junk journal, I never glue anything into it because I feel like the journal recipient, whoever buys it, might want to put their own photos inside, but I can't leave a locket empty. Just like I can't leave a pocket empty, and I can't leave a locket empty. So this beautiful piece that was tucked into the belly band, pardon all the cat fur, I should have brushed this with a lint roller. I always lint roll the books before I ship them out in case you're thinking of buying one. But yeah, this I found in one of the very first Victorian scrapbooks I ever made. So it's a genuine piece of ephemera from the late 1800s, between the late 1870s to the early 1880s. And it's just so stunning. Look at how this is embossed. The color on the front has kind of seeped through over the last century or so. But yeah, it's super sweet. It has a love poem inside and blank pages. They're good for journaling if you could bring yourself to write in such an antique thing. And the back cover, this was pasted into the scrapbook. So everywhere where you see the color leached away and kind of torn a little bit, it's because it was glued down to an acidic scrapbook page. But yeah, that is an original from the 1800s. And it contrasts pretty nicely with this brand new bright pink bejeweled cover of the book inside the book. So again, if you saw my last Craft With Me video, you know that this book is held in with elastic, which means you can slip it out and use it separately from the cover. And I've stuffed it with goodies from my Valentine's printable kit, including this adorable postcard print that I backed with some of the pink paper from that same printable kit. So you can use this for journaling. It could also be a great little instant book cover if you wanted to sew or staple a signature into here. You know, in case you want to make the chunky book even chunkier. Some journaling space. This cute little Cupid angel, that's a Victorian original, so that's from the 1800s. Put some pink and red tickets into that pocket, great for collaging. Coffee dyed paper, so lots of journaling space. This cute little enameled heart and bow. That's a vintage earring that I found in a jewelry jar. I made photo corners out of printables, and into those I put these little cute printables. It's an ad card that I printed as two separate pieces for garland stoves. And it's kind of funny to see what advertisements looked like when advertising was basically invented. Pretty music sheet with a lovely little Cupid. Another jewelry jar heart, a cute little journal card, backed with one of my 1928 wallpaper sample prints that I kind of pinked, and I also included that in the kit. Oops, I better slip this off so you can see what I put inside here. I found a 1940s English to Russian dictionary and took out the page that had the word love on it. So it's actually, you know, something that could be made into a journal signature or just kept as an interesting little piece of vintage ephemera. This is a cute little flip out that holds another piece of genuine Victorian ephemera. So cute. I think this was a printable from the Paper Cameo and one of my Sears wallpaper printables. I just love these pearly pink little teardrop shaped trim pieces. Doesn't it make the book look so cool from the side? I love having different textures of things stick out from my journals, and that is just magic to me. These I crafted on camera in last week's video. They're just such a cute little romantic couple. The little boy with his palette, the little girl with her strawberries. And this is a genuine Victorian card. You can still see where it was pasted into a book. But I felt like those flowers made a nice little background for them. Boy, how does so much cat hair wind up in my books? So I thought it was cool to put this little boy across from the page out of an art history textbook that has a Liechtenstein, where the lady is saying, although he holds his brush and palette, and here this little boy is holding his brush and his palette in his hands, I know his heart is always with me. Very, very cute. On the other side of that, I made a pocket. Oops, we've got some paper crumbles there. A pocket out of a page from my printable kit that shows a Victorian Valentine that was cellophane taped onto the journal page or onto the scrapbook page. So this is how it looks printed. It looks 3D, but that is totally flat. And inside that, I made a little booklet out of another printable from that kit that shows an ad card for Hoyt's German Cologne that has just this lovely looking couple, kind of dressed in like French Renaissance wear. Very, very sweet. And the pages inside this little mini book are actual pages from the 1870s from that Victorian scrapbook. So very fragile. They crumble the moment you fold them. That's what these little paper crumbly bits are from. So I wouldn't recommend using them for anything precious, but they are fun to write on. This pretty handmade coddy paper was from Kat Stone. Thank you so much, Kat. And I glued a genuine Victorian little fussy cut rose onto it. More printable paper. And this is the flip of an envelope that shows the US love stamp that has a couple of swans forming a heart. Super cute. And on the back of that, I did a collage using some vintage book pages, a US love stamp of a different design, the little Cupid, and then this adorable little couple, kids dressed up as grown-ups, and the little girl is holding a little doll, so they might be, you know, playing pretend that they're married. Some journaling space on this drafting paper. Another little journal card from that printable kit. And on the back, I stuck a cute little Cupid carrying a love letter, again from that same printable kit. Some ledger paper, a lady contemplating love. She's holding the heart. The Victorians took their symbology very seriously. Cute little journal card of the honeymoon, again from the kit. Another page from an art history textbook. I really like how this spread turned out. Doesn't that just look inviting? We have the little Cupid girl with her cornucopia of flowers showering down onto Love's Young Dream. And that flips open to show the front page of a book. And in there I stuck this cute little, another little cute kid couple plain dress up. This ephemera piece comes out. It's also held in with a couple of these photo corners. So yeah, as you can see, I tried to leave room to actually journal in this one. I just love that rose gazebo. This paper is stunning. It has these little gold flecks in it. I'm glad the lighting is right to pick that up. That was a gift from Kimberly. Thank you, Kimberly. Another art history piece. The very famous Love. You see copies of these all over the world now. Some pink coffee dyed paper makes the center of the signature. And I decorated the edges with these little fussy cut love angels. There's a little boy, this time with the cornucopia. I love these little two whispering secrets. A little fussy cut flower. And a little one with a barrel of hearts. And this one is cooking up some love with the hearts over the fire. And this one is my favorite for some random reason that I'm sure made sense to the Victorians. He's holding a monkey who has a heart and a hat. Super cute. The dangles, I went a little nuts this time with pieces of junk jewelry beads in coordinating colors that I dangled. A little mother of pearl heart. I think it's plastic, but made to look like mother of pearl. And then this one has a very special heart. There were 2 of these in my last Happy Mail from the lovely May, all the way from Saudi Arabia. Thank you so much, May, for that. I kept one for my personal journal and then attached the other one to the signature here. Oops, and a heart bead. So in this pocket, I took one of the genuine receipts from 1950 from Austria. Just look at that gorgeous handwriting. The delicacy of this paper feels so good in the hands. And I chose this one specifically, of course, because of the pink. I like to be a little bit matchy-matchy when I do a themed journal. Another cute little couple of kids. This is from a book that I found at the antique store in Fort Macleod. I love that bird. Such a beautiful illustration. So it's a book from the 1940s in the language of Welsh. So really cool to see the Welsh words. I don't even want to try to pronounce that. I do, but I'm not going to subject you to that. Really fun. Pretty stamp from Bermuda. It survived the Bermuda Triangle to make it into this journal. Another fussy cut from my printable kit, tucked into yet another fussy cut from my printable kit. I contemplated gluing something over this antique photograph, but I decided to leave it there. The future owner of the journal can make that decision. This beautiful silhouette of a couple in love. Another love stamp on the other side of this gold fleck paper. More love stamps here. A little music flip page. Oh, isn't that stunning? This was from a book of Christian poetry that I found thrifting. It pays to look inside every book, even if you don't necessarily think the subject matter suits your crafting style. What I do when I hit the thrift store book section is, one by one, if I have the time, I pull out all the books that look vintage and just flip through the pages to see if I can find illustrations. And this one was like striking gold. So a flip page. If you're familiar with my channel, you know I love to include textile samples. So you might recognize this here from the cover of the book. I just fussy cut one out and stuck it into the center of this frame. So that's what you can do with these. You can fussy cut them and use them. Put just a little piece of scrapbook paper in here that you could use for journaling. Another fussy cut from the printable kit. And some little music paper. Treble clefs always look so gorgeous to me. Some of those pink pearls. 1959 is when this ledger paper was used. A love poem translated from Portuguese. And this was the illustration in that book. Isn't that gorgeous? How a man should treat a woman. And then a cute little bright pink heart from a jewelry jar. This is one of my favorite pages. So the other side of that envelope I've actually used to hold the card, which again could make a great instant journal cover if you wanted to sew some pages into there like a signature. And of course, it's got tons of journaling space. Why did I pull this out? Oh, yay! I love it when things go back in on camera without too much struggle. And this, I went through all the stamps in my used stamp collection and found the actual stamp that this card was promoting, used. I think that just looks so cool. My Sears printable, wallpaper printable. This one is from Anna's Wonderland. And I thought it looked so good with this dark red paper from Cat. This pocket is made out of some of my all-time favorite fabric from May. And inside it, I took a piece of this dark blue paper that was actually made out of elephant waste and sanitized from an elephant sanctuary in Sri Lanka. They sell the paper to raise money for their elephant care. And in there I put this sweet chinoiserie couple with some really lovely tissue paper. Each page in that stack of elephant paper was divided by that tissue paper, and I thought it made just the perfect little pocket for those of us who love paper sounds and different textures. And speaking of textures, I don't know how to read Braille, but I sure do love the way it feels. So there's a little Braille page. I made the pocket on this coffee-dyed paper by sliding on a bobby pin that was in one of the Happy Mails from May. Hairpins and bobby pins make the perfect fancier version of paper clips in a junk journal. I always include a bluebird of happiness in each book, so this book has a love stamp with two birds of happiness on their heart. Decorating a pocket that holds these musical lovebirds. So the paint is crumbling on this one. You have to be kind of careful with it, but it's just beautiful. And that's another genuine scrapbook ephemera piece from the 1880s, this one. On the other side of that, just a pretty embossed silver and gold rose. Another beautiful stamp, this one with flowers that I felt went nicely with this Sears wallpaper printable. And I had meant to slide this into here, so I'll do that now. This is just a beautiful vintage Hallmark envelope. And in it I put two of the prettiest plain cards in the entire world, the King of Hearts and the Queen of Hearts. So that little couple can be used in your crafting or just kept in your pretty journal, depending on your preference. Over top of this Sears wallpaper printable, I did a cute little cluster of authentic papers from that 1928 Sears wallpaper sample book, and then just stuck a really cute little pink flower to hide the staple. And I think the pink flower, the blue flower, and then the pink and blue flowers in the print just look super cute together. This is from a printable kit that I have. It's like $1.25, I think, Canadian. It's just a mini printable kit with 6 pages of angels set against antique wallpaper. And I think it's really cute. This one looked more like a cherub than like a typical angel, so I printed that out to put in here. The other side of that love music paper. And this pocket holds the only thing in the journal that didn't quite match the color scheme. It's a little preview of a printable kit that I'm working on to go in my next journal with peacocks. And at first when this one came out of the design software, I thought, like, I need to add another tail here. But then I remembered peacocks, which are the male of their species, have the luscious long tail feathers. However, peahens, the females of their species, have short little tails that end at the length of their body. And so to me, the purple one is a peacock and the turquoise one is a peahen. Those, of course, are imaginary colors. Like actual peahens are more in the brown, beige, neutral color scheme. But I just love this couple. So another bluebird of happiness. And I just inked around the edges to make that into a journal card. So yeah, stay tuned. I think on Wednesday, either Tuesday evening or Wednesday morning, depending on when I get the time for it, I'll do a video showing that printable kit, crafting something with it. I'll be using those pages in a book I'm making for May. And yeah, I'll do one for May and one for my Etsy shop. But yeah, for now, there's the sneak preview. Another love stamp, this one from Canada, the pretty heart. More of that pink coffee-dyed paper. And that brings us to the last page of this book, where I've tucked in a page from a 1936 Burke's catalog. And I picked a page that had some heart lockets. Super cute little things. A baby rattle. If you've ever heard that expression, born with a silver spoon in your mouth, those are the silver spoons for babies. Super sweet little things. And I love seeing all the high-end stationery from that era too. So that tucks into here. I made an origami opening heart box and tucked into it a sample of genuine wallpaper with a pink rose. I won't take that all the way out because it's a little worky to get back in. But yeah, there's a space for you to tuck in your personal Valentine. And yeah, that's the conclusion of the journal component of this flip through video. But of course, there's more. In the back, I made a special little something. And this is why I call this a magical Valentine's Day journal. These flip open, and I have basically a little set of love magic things in here. Oops. I wrapped some textiles around a Twin Quartz Crystal. These are very coveted in the crystal healing community, and I have a few because whenever I go to rock and gem shows or crystal shops, I always look for twin crystals, and if they have them, I pick them up. So I've decided to share one with somebody, whoever buys this book, somebody else who loves love. A twin quartz crystal is a crystal made up of two separate crystals. So do you see how there are two separate points? Pardon my messy nail polish job. I didn't think I would do such a close-up of my nails. But yeah, there's two separate crystal points growing together from a shared base. And throughout the entirety of the crystal, they are separate. So they keep their individuality and their uniqueness, but they are grown together as one. And for crystal healing and crystal magic and crystal rituals, it's believed that meditating with, carrying with you, even just holding or looking at and contemplating a twin quartz crystal, it helps manifest love for those who are single and hoping. And for those of us who are in relationships, it helps us grow closer to the one we love while still retaining the qualities that make us unique individuals. So you don't lose yourself in the union, but you do grow closer together to the point that you are like one. So I thought that was perfect in this little love journal. Of course, wrapped up in the fabric to keep it safe. And I'll just give that a gentle little tie. It's funny, my favorite colors are like blue, turquoise, purple, green. But once I started working with the reds and the pinks, I really got into it. I quite like them too. So in the center, there's a heart-shaped mirror. Of course, mirror gazing and mirror work. Oops, I'm not wearing makeup today, so I'm not going to show my face. But yeah, mirror work is a great way to develop self-knowledge and deepen self-knowledge. And if you hold up a mirror to yourself and stare into your own eye, it's said to unlock the doorway to your subconscious. So a crystal, a mirror, a little matchbox notebook with papers that you can write down your intentions and your manifestations. Of course, more tickets. But yeah, I love a little matchbox notebook. Some of that Braille paper, some music note paper, and of course the pink cover. I had to do some inking to make it look vintage. That flips over so you can do a little secret message on the other side of that little heart. But yeah, that lives in the center here. The back, I covered up the other side of the staples with a little bit of the same pink fabric that ties up our crystal. And over that, I glued some of this genuine Victorian gold border. But here's my favorite thing in the journal. I would say best for last. I included a full set of oracle cards. And they are, the deck is called the Love Angels Oracle. They're super, super pretty. And I divided them up so that the piles are exactly even, just so that the book will close properly. So let's see, I'll shuffle them up and pick one card from each pile, just as an example of the messages on these guys. So this one, oh look, and they're holographic too, which I think is so fun. Chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. Very cool. So for those of us in relationships or those who are about to enter relationships, you can trust that there's a strong magnetic attraction. It's funny, Kenley has grown out his beard, so the guy in this picture even kind of looks like him to me. And boy, does that lady ever look kind of like a Stevie Nicks magical character. Oops. Oh yeah, and that's some of that blue sticky wallpaper. And to hide the glue where I glued down this stretchy fabric. And let's see, we'll do a little shuffle of these ones too. I bought this deck like over 2 years ago when I still lived in my apartment, thinking that I would use them in journals. But I couldn't bring myself to take out a single card. I felt like the deck has to stay together. But it was too thick to just fit into a journal normally, so I had to do some brainstorming on how to fit it into this journal. So here we go. For those who are manifesting love, you deserve love. You are lovable. And we have this beautiful goddess figure with her bow and arrow. And look at the little cupids on the edge of that card, empowering her. Empowering her to shoot that arrow of love. So pretty. Here's a little look at what some of the others look like. Wait, did I turn? Here, I should have them all going in the same direction. Yeah, just to give you an idea. In fact, maybe close your eyes and open them when you feel called to, and there would be your specific message. And of course, you can pause the video when you do so you can read the card. I've never done that in a video before, so if you have something that makes sense, let me know. All right, and they're going back in. If you didn't close your eyes and pause it so you missed out on the message from that pile, maybe that means your message is found in this pile. So I'll do that again. And if at the end I'll say stop, so if you hadn't done it, then the last one will be yours. Okay, so start. And stop. So there we have it. The Book of Love Magic gets its name from this last little section where we have, yeah, the Love Angel Oracle cards, the Twin Crystal, the heart-shaped mirror for mirror magic, and a little Matchbox notebook filled with pages that can be used for writing down intentions and manifestations. So if this book is calling you, I will list it in my Etsy shop exactly as I publish the video. That's what I try to do every week. And this time, I'm not forgetting to show you the ring that comes with the journal. I found one that just looked perfect for this book. It has the word love, it's minimalist, it's pretty, and I think it'll look really sweet tied to the sari trim closure. So if you entered the draw last week by commenting, not last week, it was just a few days ago. If you entered the draw a couple days ago by commenting on the Craft With Me video, don't turn away yet, because I'm going to draw the names, or draw the name of our lucky winner just as soon as I get this clipped back on. I don't know why I'm doing this, because right after filming I'm going to take the photos for my Etsy listing, but I guess it just feels complete when I put everything back in the journal where it belongs. So the draw prize is this envelope stuffed with Valentine themed Happy Mail. So it includes all the printables from my new printable kit. You have to kind of fussy cut them yourself, but I've printed them all out for you. Plus a page of love-themed sheet music, a little envelope with some love-themed stamps. Some of them are just red and pink stamps that go with the color scheme, and others actually have the word love on them. Some more little ephemera pieces, including one of the genuine Victorian pieces. I'm not going to pull it out because it's fragile. But yeah, all of that is along with a card that was printed by Kat Stone herself, the artist of my favorite paper dolls of all time. So here we go. I put all the names of everyone who entered the draw into the little heart-shaped box that I found thrifting. I'm just going to mess them all up and cover them with my hand so I don't know which one I'm pulling out, and pick this one. Love Paper 68. I think that's Angelica. Is that Angelica? If so, yay, you win. If it's somebody else, yay, you win. But yeah, let me know. If you can send me an Etsy message with your address. If it's Angelica, just let me know it's you. And I have your address already. But if that's not Angelica, please send me an Etsy message. And yeah, to everyone else who entered, thank you so much for watching and commenting. I will be announcing another giveaway very, very shortly in the video coming up either Tuesday or Wednesday when I start working on my peacock themed journals. So don't be disheartened if you didn't win this time. I'm going to do giveaways fairly regularly. But yeah, I'll stick that in here because you might like to put it in your journal. And I know that ephemera won't be arriving in time for Valentine's Day this year, but I guess romantic things can go in journals any time of the year. Or just set them aside for next year's Valentine project. But yeah, if you think that this little baby is calling you, it'll be up in my Etsy shop. And if not, stay tuned because I've got lots of journals on the way, and maybe one of those will be more your style. Thank you so much for watching. So much love to you. Happy Valentine's Day in advance. Yeah, and happy crafting.